Welcome to Cheer Podcast, episode
Dose.
3, 2,
Two.
2. Yeah, I
The
saw
other one was
that.
a pilot.
I saw that you did the other one.
No. It was just like we were talking about Super Bowl and that was like already like 2 weeks past. So I was like,
Yeah,
it's like behind.
I
But yeah.
feel you.
So we want to do this one. Alright, what are we talking today? What are we talking about this week?
We are sipping on different things tonight.
We are always on there.
It is recovery day as well as sick day. So
Why?
we're pushing through with some tea. Why? Because it's change of season.
It really is though.
We
Does that
got-
like really hurt you?
I mean, I don't think it ever has. I mean, I'm just blaming it on that. Also, like at the place that I work at, everybody's sick and nobody seems to wear a mask when they're sick, which really bothers me.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you're sick, cover your fucking mouth.
Like with a face mask, you mean?
Yeah, with a face mask.
But that's the thing that nobody ever did that before COVID.
So it's kind of like 50-50. I have seen a lot of people that do that when they're sick, like with a common cold. And I appreciate that. I typically do. If I have like a little cold, I will wear a mask. Because I just feel like that's the right thing to do. I feel
It
like
is.
ever since the pandemic, I do like that.
But you just said it though. It was like right after the pandemic. Like nobody did it before.
Oh, no. I know. I know that nobody did it before. But what I'm saying is like people should still do that when you're sick.
Yeah.
Even
but
if it's a cold, anything.
it is, but at the same time, let me put it the other way. We work at restaurants.
Yeah.
So if we were to do that, it will give an impression that we're sick. And us working in the food industry, I mean, it's fucked up, but you're not going to miss a day of work just because you have a little cold.
I'm not. And that's the problem.
That's the thing. Yeah, because we cannot afford that shit.
If people could see the kitchen of any restaurant, if they could see the dish pit of any restaurant, I
Yeah.
feel like people are not that dumb. Like, we live in the era of technology and oversharing. So I feel like people are starting to get a clue that restaurants are disgusting.
I don't know. I feel like people don't realize that. Because, I mean, some of the people, like, you work at a more, like, high-end restaurant, so it's definitely different for your kind of people, but at least for mine, sometimes you look at the customers, you're like, yeah, the floor is cleaner than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one who shares that feeling.
You know what? I feel you. Yeah, sometimes you be looking at some people and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with you?
Like, yeah, that's true. Like, how'd you walk out of the house like that?
Yeah, and just like in the middle of the day. So, I don't know, I feel like people are clueless in that regard.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're in the restaurant industry, like, yeah, you're not going to miss a day of work because you got a little bit of cold. Because if you don't
You're
show
gonna
up,
suck it up, no?
yeah, you're just going to suck it up. So, like, I did wear a mask at work. And I didn't get any funny looks. My coworkers were the ones that asked, are you feeling sick? And I said, hell yeah, I'm feeling sick. And half of them were like, why are you wearing a mask? And then half of them were like, thank you for wearing a mask. I'm like, exactly. And
See?
I personally do appreciate when people do wear masks.
Yeah, and I would appreciate that too, but the fact is, like I said, we cannot afford to go like a day without working.
We can't even afford to go to the doctor.
Yeah, for real, without insurance. And the other one is that even if you feel sick, the manager's like, well, can you still like make your shift? Because their favorite fucking phrase is we are short on staff.
We're short on staff, yeah.
We're short on staff. Like there's their fucking favorite reason. But then hire dumbass people and then they don't train them. But that's a whole different fucking story. So I mean, I feel like that's like a whole battle too. Because sometimes you can be like, hey, I feel like shit. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm really short on people. I cannot let you go. I'm like, bitch. what the
Right.
fuck? And sometimes I told my bosses, I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking going. You can fire me. Like, you can do whatever you want. I'll see you tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
that's the thing.
there's sometimes that you just put your foot down as an employee and be like, I am not coming to work today. And they'll be fine. One thing about the restaurant industry is that they'll be fine. It's literally one day at a time, customer at a time. Whether they're short staffed or not, people are still gonna eat no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get pissed regardless. So, because even if you're good on staff, like wait staff, I mean, maybe the kitchen is not like fully
Yeah.
staffed. So if they fall behind, it doesn't matter if they have 20 waiters. The kitchen's still gonna be dying, and the food's gonna come out cold or burn or like
Yeah.
slow. So I mean, it doesn't really make a difference if they're good on one side but bad on the other, which is like most restaurants right now. Which, by the way, I think that they should make like some kind of syndicate or something because the kitchen staff needs to get better paid. They get fucked in the ass.
Yeah,
with the
I
payments.
agree.
Like they do twice as much as I do, and they get paid like 2/3 of what I get, and that's
you
not
think
fair.
you do more than the kitchen does?
What do you mean?
As far as work, well,
Fuck
yeah,
yes, you
I
do,
think
though.
so too.
Yeah, because even on an easy night, you will still feel like a rush because I mean it's still the whole restaurant that you gotta pull through.
Right.
So I mean maybe you get like I don't know 10 tables, and if it's like 10 waiters or waitresses, so and each one gets 10, then that's 100. So you still gotta cook 100 dishes. So I mean that's not an easy fucking thing.
Yeah.
You can say oh yeah 10 tables is not that bad, but
Yeah.
then do 100 and you're gonna be like oh calm the
Yeah.
fuck down.
Yeah, the kitchen is the reason why everybody's there.
Yeah, for
But
real.
yeah, they do get boo-boo ass pay compared to the servers and the management.
Yeah. And I don't know about your restaurant. We've been talking about restaurants, but at least from my perspective, most of the kitchen staff doesn't is.
Undocumented?
Yeah. I just
Were
don't
you thinking of a word to say that?
I mean, I just don't want to like get their ass in trouble, you know, like.
I
get
mean,
in the
when
ass.
listen,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna say the place that I work at.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
half of my kitchen is undocumented.
Yeah. So that's the thing. They cannot.
But how do they do that?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Okay.
No. I mean, it's just that. Not that I don't want to. Is that when we started this year, we said that we would not throw throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
So I mean, I will like if I say something stupid, it's on me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like involve my family, friends, or coworkers, especially like people who need the job.
Yeah,
'Cause, I
that's
mean,
true.
They need the job, you know.
Yeah.
And that's going back to my point. Because they're undocumented, they cannot feel the power to be like, hey, like this is a lot of work, like give me a fucking raise or like give me an extra day off or like
Yeah.
shit like that, you know. So like, if they're lucky enough to find a job, they gotta suck it up.
Right.
And I feel like that's one of the reasons why so many people, at least in the Hispanic community, are alcoholics. Because they get depressed.
Really?
Yeah. Big time. Because think about it. They don't have families. They don't have friends outside of, like, the work environment.
Because they don't speak English.
Yeah. But even regardless, if you work at an old Mexican restaurant, like, even the people that you like might not be the people that had the same day off as you.
Oh,
so
that's
you can
true.
never hang out together.
Right. Yes.
So that's another thing, though. And then on top of that, like, no family. You cannot hang out with the friends from work. You don't have social life because you don't speak the language. You cannot fucking drive.
Right.
Because you're afraid that if you drive too far and get pulled over, you're gonna get sent back to your country.
Right.
So I mean, they just from work home and from home to work. So and they try to live near to where they work. So I mean, it's what like a 5-mile area at most, probably.
Yeah.
Because like I
Maybe.
said, most of them don't drive, so they move by bicycle. Like they drive very careful, but they don't want to overexpose themselves.
Right.
So that's the whole world. So I mean, they turn to alcohol and drugs. That's my theory. They use like
That's
lonely.
a little controversial.
Why?
Because that's like a little bit of a stereotype. And I do agree that stereotypes are for a reason. I really do. But I don't know. I think it may be a hot
So what's the
a hot
stereotype?
topic.
In that
That Hispanics are alcoholics.
I mean, so how many Hispanics work in your?
The whole kitchen is Hispanic.
So how many of them like drink heavily?
I only know of one. And only because he came messed up to work. Like there was a fight type thing.
I love it.
Yeah, one of our kitchen staff.
Start throwing hands.
No, not even. He
Start
came
swinging the knife.
not even. He came a little too drunk to work, and homeboy got out of the kitchen and started talking to some customers, like some girls, and the girls were like, "What the fuck?"
Was he hitting on the girls?
He was hitting on the
I love
girls.
it.
And, like, the girls were like, what the fuck? So, obviously, management got called. And then they were like, yeah, like, the other kitchen staff was like, yeah, he's gone. Like, you know when, like, he was pretty much blacked out.
Okay.
Like, because he was still functioning.
I love it.
But he was definitely blacked out. And it happened to be, like, a Saturday night. No. It happened to be a Friday night. A Friday night wasn't Saturday.
Busy day.
But, yeah, it was a very busy day. And the sous chef, the expo, needed food because he was in the pasta section of the kitchen, and obviously the whole kitchen started running behind, and eventually the kitchen was over 45 minutes behind.
God damn.
Can you imagine 45 minutes behind on the kitchen? So yeah, they went to get him, and they were like, please go back to doing your job. And I'm like, what do you mean go back to do your job?
See,
Let
that's
him
going back.
leave.
That's
Let him leave. Like, he is obviously not okay. Let him leave. But now, like, management was like, get back to the kitchen. Get back to do your job now. And there was, like, I remember, like, at the restaurant I work at, there was, like, a divide of, like, yeah, let him go back to work, or what the fuck? Why would he be able to to be back to work when he is wasted.
Yeah. But I mean, that's going back to what we start talking about. Like, management will not give a fuck. So they will try to like push you to your limits and be like, hey, like you gotta show up to work.
Restaurant management sucks. They all suck.
See, the thing is that they don't have any proper training, so they're just like people who kind of like climb up the ladder in the restaurant, just that restaurant.
Yeah.
Because if you take that management to another restaurant, it's not gonna work. It
Right.
will never work. So it just works for that place, and it barely works.
Right.
You know, it's barely holding together. So I feel like they need to standardize that shit. That would be my opinion.
For all restaurants?
Maybe to a certain degree, just to like teach him how to be a good boss, you know, because sometimes I've heard like scary stories about managers hitting on girls, and then the girls is like, no, thank you, and then the manager's taking out on the girls, so they give them the bad shifts, and whenever they have a problem, they don't like really pay attention to them, and they're trying to find excuses to get on them.
Well, that's why you go to HR.
Yeah, but not every single fucking restaurant has that.
Yeah, that's true. Or the harassment could be coming from HR.
Exactly. But I mean, going back to what you said, I don't think that was like a very controversial topic, just because I've seen it though, and I work with a bunch of Mexicans, and I can tell you firsthand.
You don't gotta say they're Mexicans though.
Why not?
You can say that you work with a bunch of Hispanics.
But they're Mexican. What would
Okay.
I stereotype? Like, see, that would be more stereotype, because what if like I don't know, Guatemalans are not like that. I mean, it's just
but Hispanics is more abroad. You're just not like.
every motherfucker that speaks Spanish is drunk. Sometimes
It's what?
it's drunk. It's a drunk.
See, I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm just talking about the people that I know. You know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the environment that kind of move around, and I've seen it happening, and that's my theory, because that's like the common factors. They don't
Yeah.
have families, and they work too much, and they don't have like a life outside of work.
Yeah, I agree on that.
So I mean, we are lucky enough to be able to be legal here. So I mean, we have cars, we can move, we can do different shit.
Yeah.
If we want it, we can just like quit and find another job. Maybe it won't be like our dream job either, but at least we'll be able to find something else to survive.
I think that we see the maybe stereotypical somebody that is here by themselves and is sending money back to their family.
But I mean, the people that I know, they're not even sending money to their families. They're just here because they're looking for a better opportunity, but at the same time, they don't do the things right in a way. They don't want to follow the rules, so they kind of fall into that cycle.
Yeah.
That's my perception from the people that I know. Because I mean, I can tell you, like, the people that are in that situation in my job, I'll say like 8 out of 10 are like drunks.
Or drunks?
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's sad though, and you can see because like some of them have already went to the hospital because they had problems with their liver. But I mean, they don't want to stop drinking. They can't stop. They can't stop drinking. Ugh.
No, they can't. They won't.
And they can't. If you stop drinking from like today to tomorrow, you can literally get ill.
Right. That's why you gradually stop.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like they cannot. It's an addiction.
Do you think addiction is a disease? Or do you think addiction is a choice?
A disease though, because it becomes a point where you cannot control it. It controls you.
That'd be a fun topic to dig into one day.
It will be. I'm down.
With a doctor or something.
Yeah. Eventually, when these podcast girls will be able to invite people and like have an interview with them and
Yeah.
discuss this kind of topics because they're interesting. I like it.
Absolutely. I agree on that too.
But yeah, I don't know why we started with this.
Okay, anyways,
Restaurants.
back to whatever we're talking about today.
Who, you want to
You
start?
can start.
You got a topic?
I don't have one.
I love it. So I'll start. Okay, so I got a topic. This past weekend, there was some international news about 4 Americans getting kidnapped in Mexico, and then 2 of them got killed.
Yep.
Now, there's been a lot of controversy that I've seen on social media and all this kind of shit, and I think I've been lucky enough to see the news from both sides of the border, like 2 different perspectives, and the way they're handling things is just very shady on the American
It
side.
is so shady.
It is very shady because I've seen that right now it says this I think it's called like a red alert or something like that, and they're saying like for spring break do not go to Mexico because you're gonna get killed, you're gonna get kidnapped, you're gonna get tortured and all this shit. And one thing that I can say, and I will say this with like a lot of respect because we're talking cartel shit,
Yeah.
and these motherfuckers do not fuck
They
around.
do not play.
Like if you think like and I would say this with respect a lot, but if you think that school shootings and all these things going on in America are bad, you have no idea what kind of shit goes down in Mexico in these areas that are very thought of, like cartel land.
Hold on though, but I would say like at least cartels and like where they're at is very contained.
It is.
And it's very controlled.
Yeah.
School shootings are not controlled. This could happen anywhere, everywhere in the country, without in any place, in a kid's place. Like at least cartels will, they very carefully.
Who they fuck with? No, but
they're very carefully plan where they're gonna shoot at or like what's gonna happen. And there's even fucking alerts in the city. They'd be like, okay, there's gonna be a shootout between cartels. Nobody goes inside. Close everything early. Everybody has to be home by 5. School shootings.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying it's not a good thing that there's school shootings, but I'm saying like the level of violence that is a school shooting between like what happens between cartels is nothing. Like these people will behead each other alive and torture each other, and then they'll take a video and post it. Like you can see how gruesome that fucking violence is.
Yeah.
So for people who think that that's not gonna happen to them, it's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
So going back to what I was saying is that cartels do not act just on. They do not act just because.
Yeah, and they don't fuck with white people either.
They don't fuck with white people unless they have a reason to.
Yeah.
So what I've seen on the news, because I try to watch some news, but I don't want to watch too much because it's a bunch of bullshit on like regular news. They were just saying that there was 4 Americans who traveled to Mexico to do a
BBL.
A BBL.
And they were women, right?
No, they were. I mean, at least one was a woman, and the other 2 were guys. I think something like that. But what I never saw any news outlet saying was that every single person that got kidnapped had a criminal record before. So one of the women got arrested, and actually she got her kid taken by the police or something like that because she was giving her drugs or some shit like that. Like it was something really shady. And then another guy got arrested because he was selling weed or handed out cocaine or some shit like that outside of a school zone. Yeah, for real.
In the United States?
Yeah, here. Like the Americans that got kidnapped in Mexico, they had criminal records, and that was some of the shit that they did.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the video, I will post the links on that shit, just so people can see it, because I mean, it's actually like the government's website, you know, like the county jails and all that shit. So it's not. These people were not tourists.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
These people were probably doing something illegal down there. They were probably buying drugs or trying to sell something or. They were doing something, and especially the place they went to, it was Tamaulipas.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is a hot spot. Like that's some of like cartel land. Like that's some of like the HQ of these people.
Yeah.
So the fact that they went over there, it's already shady enough.
Yeah, it's shady as fuck.
So the fact that the news didn't share that piece of information, maybe some did, but it definitely wasn't on like the big news outlets. Because I never saw the information. I actually saw that information being shared on the Mexican side, on the Mexican news. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I went and did a little digging. And like, I mean, they were right. So what I'm saying is the cartels will not act on tourists just because.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue, yeah. So this is my theory. Because, I mean, nothing has been proved yet. But I think that they were doing something illegal. And they were trying to play dirty with the Mexicans. And the cartel was like, no fucking way. Like, this is our territory. And you're not coming here to fuck us over.
Yeah.
So they retaliate.
Right.
And then the news just exploded. And everything happened like the way it was supposed to happen.
I think that when I first heard about this, it was, I remember the headline be like, American tourists get murdered by cartel, and that was it. And then I read a little bit on it, and it said, oh yeah, tourists were just going to get a BBL. And then I looked at the comments, and it was a little more like, nah, this is not adding up. Like, it's too, like, cliche-ish, right?
Yeah.
And there was a comment that kind of caught my attention that I was like, no, it's a drug deal gone wrong. And that's when I was like...
That makes more sense.
To me, that makes way more sense than some regular schmegular white people going to get BBLs. Because, like, how many people go to Mexico to get BBLs? Like, hella people. And they come back alive.
And if anything, they go to big cities like Mexico City, Monterrey. Like
no, they go to the border.
Really?
Yeah, I have a friend that went to the border to get her a surgery done.
But does it go to like the shady areas?
I mean, she's not gonna go to Tamaulipas. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not gonna like.
Respect to that people, cause.
Yeah, I mean they. I don't remember where she went, but I know she went to the border because she drove. There's a lot of people that do this. Like, I think that this whole misconception of like, oh, people are not going to the shady areas. Do you know how cheap it is in Mexico to get a surgery? Yeah, there's a lot of people that do this. So, but I don't think that people do this not knowing the risks. I think that Mexico has such a big reputation of being dangerous, so people know what they're getting themselves into in a way. Because if you're choosing to drive knowing damn well that the border is dangerous for a BBL, first of all, you got your priorities kind of fucked up, but that's you. Second, you're gonna do it safely. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I personally would not go to a place that I'm like, I know damn well there's a whole ass cartel right there, and go get my BBL. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather go to, like, I don't know, Mexico City, like you say, like Monterrey, like a little bit more touristy places. It may be a little bit more expensive, but it's still gonna be cheaper than getting in the U.S. Like, simple as that.
Yeah, and another thing is that some people from work has asked me what it's like to go to Mexico and these things, because they wanna go now. Yeah. They wanna be tourists and they wanna know the place because they see the picture. And I mean, it's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, but just like it's a beautiful place, it's a very dangerous area as well.
Right.
So just know where you go, and like I said, especially if you don't speak the language, because we have a lot of words that they don't even exist. You know, so it's not
what?
Words that don't even exist.
Words?
Like, like chale.
Oh, like slang.
Know, slang language.
Yeah, slang.
That's what I was going to. So if you don't know the language and you're going to speak it, don't go outside of the tourist areas to which you're going to. Because outside of that, there's no guarantee that you're not going to run into bad people.
Right.
And then if you're going to do like shady deals, then you know that something might happen.
I think that at the most, you will get robbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're not like, all right, bet, like, you dying right here, right now. Like, no, give me your shit, give me your money, give me your American dollars, give me your phone, your big ass Canon camera that you're carrying around. Because I've seen that whenever we go to Mexico and we're walking in El Centro. I see people with their big ass cameras, and I'm like, y'all crazy. I don't even like to go with my phone. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't even like to go out with my phone whenever in Mexico.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, another reason why I think that they were doing something shady is because I don't know if you saw this, a couple years back, there was this viral video of some tourist guys that went off the grid. And, Of the grid, yeah. And they were, I think it was like a GoPro on the car, on the dash cam, and they ran into a cartel block. So they stopped these motherfuckers.
I know what video you're
talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They get super scared.
Yeah. So, I mean, they were really scared.
Poor things.
And, because, I mean, you've seen the video, so you get scared if you've never been into that, and then you don't speak the language, you see all the violence that is going on around. Like, that shit is scary. So, I mean, they find these people in the middle of nowhere, and they thought they were going to get killed.
Right.
But, I mean, this just goes to show you that cartel people will not fuck with the wrong person. Or, like, with innocent people, especially tourists.
Yeah.
The cartel guy didn't even speak any English. And actually, one of them kind of
One of them did. They pulled up the translator real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was trying to tell them to calm down, because, I mean, I understand what language is. And the Mexican guy was trying to tell the white guys to calm down, that nothing was going to happen, but they needed to turn around and not come back. Because they might see some shit that they were not supposed to see, then they will have to kill them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they will try to, like, de-escalate the situation before they have to, like, go to the extreme of killing, especially an American, though. Because they know they cannot kill that shit, especially ever since the Kiki Camarena case.
If you what?
Kiki Camarena. It was a DEA agent that they killed, so... Oh. Yeah. After that guy got killed, like, they brought down the big bosses. So after that, they learned not to kill American citizens.
Right.
So the fact that they did this is like they must have had a reason. They did not kill just because.
I think it was a deal gone wrong. That's what I think it is.
So I mean, if you want to go to Mexico and enjoy spring break and all that shit, because I mean, most people
just be careful, man.
Yeah, just be careful. Because most people just go to get drunk because you can drink at 18 instead of 21 over there.
Yeah.
So I mean, go Don't go out of the tourist areas, and just be safe though. If you want to do drugs, don't do it, because they might take you out of the tourist areas, and that is not gonna
Do
go
them at
right.
home. Do it
Yeah.
at the hotel.
Yeah.
Or do it somewhere where you
Buy them expensive or something. We're not promoting that, by the way, YouTube, but
We're gonna get banned.
we're
Damn
speaking
it.
facts.
I mean, I had a friend that was in a festival in Sinaloa when the whole shutdown thing happened.
But shut down.
The whole like, hey, cartels are gonna start shooting up at like 6:00.
Oh, when they got
That was last year.
oh.
Literally last year. Was it in Sinaloa?
I mean, it's been. I feel like yeah, because I mean, El Chapo's son got arrested there.
Well, I think it was in Sinaloa, and my friend was there, a really good friend of mine. She was down there for a music festival, and I was scrolling on TikTok, and all I kept seeing was Mexico, Mexico, Mexico shut down, all the streets shut down, like everybody had to be home by 6 p.m. And my friend over there, like,
Party.
partying her ass out, and I'm like, you know, like, good for her. She obviously doesn't know what's going on, and I get it, but, like, in my heart, I was like,
Please be
girl,
careful.
like, do not go out of wherever the fuck you're at. Like, I hope you're away from that. I figure they would be, right? Like, they're not gonna be fuck around with a whole ass festival.
It wouldn't, but like I said, when they capture El Chapo's son, there was a whole military movement going on to try to rescue him. So I mean, in those kind of extreme cases where they're capturing like one of the big bosses,
Yeah.
they might just to put pressure on the government to release the boss. So that's like a whole different scenario from this.
That's kind of like a trade off.
It is though. That's the reason why the
crazy.
first time they release them, because they start shooting up and like they make a big mess. What do they call that shit? El Culiacanazo. They call that because they arrest the son, and then the rest of the cartel was like, you're liberating the boss.
Yeah.
So they took all the equipment out and they start going around cities and like intimidating people. And I
Just
mean,
innocent people, right?
yeah. Because I mean, they were putting pressure on the government to release this guy.
Damn,
So
that's
there was
crazy.
it was, and I mean, there's a bunch of videos on the internet that you can see, and even documentaries right now, because that was like a dark day for Mexico.
It is a dark day whenever they try to bring up bosses. But
But
I
some
don't
more
know,
than
like,
others.
it's a little hypocritical, too. Because, like, we're supplying all these countries, you know.
Yeah.
And it's government based, too. Like, if we're going to talk about that, we're going to talk about the 80s. How the CIA provided all this coke to the United States.
For
That's a topic for another day.
yeah.
Watch
Sure.
Snowfall. It's a good one. It's so good.
watch it. I wanna
It's
start
so
watching
good.
it now.
It's just amazing. You would love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're going on vacation to Mexico, just be careful
Be safe.
not to go outside the tourist area, like I said many times, and just make sure that you're either with someone that speaks proper Spanish, or someone that knows their way around.
Yeah.
Because going outside is not a good idea, especially for a tourist guy, because you never know what you're gonna find. So just be safe.
At the very least, you're gonna get robbed. So just be careful. And if you get robbed, like, that better be your sign to get the fuck out. Because I feel like whenever you are getting robbed, it means that somebody's fucking watching you.
Oh yeah.
Somebody has been watching you, and somebody will probably continue to watch you to see if you have something else. Other than that, Mexico's a beautiful country that you should really visit one day. Just if it looks sketchy, it's
Get the fuck
probably sketchy.
Yeah.
If you feel a little bit of eyeballing you, go back to that hotel and
Yep.
chill out.
Yeah, and just do your research
And be
about
careful.
which places you're gonna go.
Be careful on drinking.
Yeah.
You get a little too incoherent.
And
It
you're
is
gonna have a
very
big mouth.
easy. It's very easy to get abducted by being intoxicated and finding a cool person. But little do you know that that person that is, being nice and you just happen to meet at the bar and bought you some drinks or some shots. That's like what's it called? Like a recruiter? A recruiter, like the people that like go and like try to kidnap people to either like sex traffic them or like kill them and sell their body parts. What's that called? Who is that connect called?
I mean, I think it's just like they kidnap you. I don't know. Yeah. But even another one is that don't be loud, because especially I've seen this, like especially American tourists are very loud wherever they go. So be careful not to piss off the wrong person, because like down in Mexico, if you really pissed off someone, they can make it disappear. I feel like we're talking too negative about Mexico.
We literally just talked about Mexican pride like last episode
yeah,
too.
for real.
Hey,
But I mean, this shit just
every
exploded.
beautiful thing has some negative, so
Yeah.
we're not even started on the U.S.
For real. But we still love the country though. But yeah, just be careful with that shit. And I mean, I don't know what else is there to say. I will expect more news to come on these next couple days
Right.
because it's definitely an interesting topic that just blew up this week.
Yeah.
So
I did see it a lot this week.
yeah, it became very international news, honestly. So that's very
It's
interesting.
because they're fucking with other countries.
Yeah.
Mexico and United States. Would you say that Mexico and the United States are friends?
They're codependent
Do you think they're allies?
for certain things.
If there was a World War III,
God.
I think
Yeah, they will have to. They will
And then
have
I think the United States is the first one to go do so. The United States loves the military, but I feel like Mexico will be like,
yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna get involved in your shit.
they cannot get involved, but they have to be on the American side because of the border. And the fact that the economy of Mexico depends pretty much on the economy of the U.S.
Then why is our economy so shit?
Because we have bad governments. I mean, this one, like, here in the States is bad, but down there is just terrible. It's just
See,
terrible.
but that's so frustrating to me. Like, it's just so hypocritical. Like, why are we fighting all these wars on crime and drugs and violence when it's coming from the root, the government? Like, how do you fight evil with evil? And that's just so annoying. Like, as a regular human, like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just gonna keep in a cycle if it's, because that's what it is. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think that's above our pay grade.
I mean, it definitely is above a pay grade. Like, I agree with you on that 100%. But it's just, like I said, it's just frustrating as a regular human that is just trying to fucking pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, I can't even like finish paying on my credit card bill because I'm getting charged interest. Like, what?
Yeah, that's another one. That's fucked up. But yeah.
Cheers to that one.
Cheers.
Cheers to the violence.
Be safe out there. Don't fuck with the wrong people, because you never know who you're fucking with. But yeah. What's
You
up?
got the next topic.
How the fuck? That was my topic.
I know, you said you got 2 topics.
Okay, let me just make some noise while I like pull it up. Because I just took a screenshot of something that I read over this weekend. And
I told you I didn't have a topic this week.
you should have.
I know I should have, but
You're unprepared for this shit. Screenshots.
I actually did have a topic, but I was like,
Which one? Just throw it out there.
I mean, I was going to talk about the Besame Mucho Festival.
The who?
The Besame Mucho Festival.
No,
And their outrageous
Besame
tickets.
Mucho. Yeah.
Their outrageous $580 tickets for one day. That's crazy. That's half a stack.
It really is.
On one fucking day. Like, that's crazy.
It is, but at the same time, it's a very stacked concert.
Okay, 1,000%. But think about it this way. Why would you have that many people, big artists, on one fucking day?
Because only one of them will not be able to sell that much. It's all about money.
No. Do a 3-day thing.
That's a 3-day thing. It's a weekend, isn't it?
It's a one day.
No, but I mean, I'm saying the concert.
The whole thing is one day.
No, it's like a weekend.
Dude, it's one day. It is one day that all of these artists happen. It's not a 3-day festival. It's a 1-day concert.
I mean, I think it's a 3 days. It's just
What-
like a bunch
What did I
of
just say?
different
It's
people.
not December 2nd.
And it's only one day.
It's only one fucking day. All these huge artists that everybody would love to see is one Saturday.
December 2nd. Oh, yeah. I thought it was like... I thought each screen was like a different day.
No, each screen is one stage.
Oh,
This
so
is
they do
another
different
stage, and
That's
this is another stage. I'm
That is
cool.
bananas.
I'm cool with the 3 stages thing. That's normal. Like, that's, yeah. But one day for, I don't know how many headliners they have. Let's say, I'm going to say they have like
30 at least.
30 at least. Big
And
headliners.
Big headliners.
Like, the thing about festivals that we all love is that it's a 3-day thing or a 2-day thing or even a 4-day thing. And they will have the big headliners, or I bet one Friday, one Saturday, and one Sunday. And they would even have like big headliners, like let's say 3 to 4 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they will have a bunch of smaller artists and then smaller artists, which is amazing. But dude, you are throwing out literally
the biggest
names of the biggest of all genres, like pop, rock, and banda. Only one day, I think.
That is crazy.
And for $580, I'm sorry, but I am mad. I just want you to know that I am pissed. I am absolutely outraged because what the fuck? Because, like, literally, what the fuck? Because, like, another EDC Vegas, the biggest EDM festival in the whole United States. Actually, in the whole... I
don't know. I'm not into that kind of
music. I know, but I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the biggest festival in the Americas. But I know it's the biggest festival in the United States. And this is in Vegas. A ticket for a 3-day festival is I think I paid $560 last year for 3 days. Like, that's fine. That's fine. Like I will do that. Like, 560 is $186 per day. It's still very steep, but all the headliners and all the different stages, it's worth it. And what happens at these type of festivals is that they have activities. I've never been to Besame, but I wouldn't think that they have activities to do because shit.
It's just so much shit going on.
You are going to be trying to get into the artists. Like, festivals are so packed already.
They really fucking are.
And 3-day festivals, at least you have activities like shopping and eating, and there's carnival games, and it's like, okay, bet, like, we're gonna have fun and we're gonna listen to this music, but you have time to have the fun.
Yeah.
Besame Mucho Festival, it's like, all right, bet you want to go to Gloria Trevi, but nah, hold on, Mana is also playing at the same time, but no, hold on, Los Tigres del Norte are also in 20 minutes. Like, why would you do that to your crowd? I don't get it.
I mean, it's a new festival because how long has that been going on?
I think this is the second year.
Okay, because I feel this is just my perception. I'm just guessing because I don't know. I feel like they're doing that just so they can get more attention. Because I mean, like I said, the lineup is pretty stacked. Like,
yeah,
we
the lineup
definitely,
is crazy.
When we saw that, we were like, we gotta go. And then we saw the pricing, we're not gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we really did that. Never mind. No, but we were so willing because they actually announced. See, if this is y'all's first time or like second year, I get it. But nah, at the same time, I don't get it because we've been living in a festival era for quite a while now. So you had like festivals to like reference back to. Okay, like I understand tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 tickets, but they did not announce that. They said tickets $260, and they were like, all right, I bet we're buying 4, and we were lit about it. I got a pre-sale code, and I got in there, and I waited my time for the queue, and by the time that I got to the checkout line, it was sold out, and now it went from $260 to $580. Shit. Plus fees and taxes. Like, I was like, Are you
mad?
Bitch. Like, I'm sorry, but if for that price, I wouldn't even mind paying that price if it was going to be, like, laid out. Like, I don't know what time this concert starts at, but let's say it's from 12 to 12. Dude, and each artist gets around an hour, and you got 30 artists. There are not 30 hours in a day. I just think it's so, like, I don't know. As a huge festival goer myself, I am mad that you would want me to pay $580 for one day for one big ass stadium, even though you're gonna have three different
arenas.
No, 3 different stages. I'm cool with that, but knowing how festivals work, you're asking for chaos. And I'm just mad you're trying to make me pay $508 for one day. I would love, the lineup is sick. I think the
They did a great job putting all those artists
Yeah,
together.
I think that the marketing has been great. I think that it has had great reviews.
See, but
But
that's
3 days.
I feel like down the
Come on.
line they're gonna be able to do that over a period of a weekend instead of a day. You know,
Right.
enough people are gonna like buy into it because I don't know if it's been more before that, but to me it seems like this is the first big Hispanic festival.
And I think so too.
So I feel
But-
like that's why they're doing it like that. So
but
they're
we
gonna
have
make a
a-
lot of noise, and then eventually they're gonna expand into the weekend. I feel like
Maybe.
they're gonna do that because I mean honestly, if they would do the same shit next year and they do it in over 2 days, it would be more likable for people like us to go.
Right.
You know, and if they do it over 3 days, then even more people are gonna go because they're gonna be able to travel to. Is it in California?
It is in California.
Yeah,
so
so they're
it's
gonna
the
be able to
Dodger
just-
Stadium.
Damn. So they're gonna be able to travel from other like all these other states.
I don't think that they will travel because festivals don't tend to travel.
No, I'm talking about like the public.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I mean, one day for
I
all
mean-
that, it wouldn't be worth from someone to like New York, Chicago to go.
But it would be though because I mean the lineup
For a
is
day?
stacked.
I mean, this is stacked, but like you said, like
I think you will make a trip out of that. But that's so expensive. That's so like you're already spending half a stack on one fucking day. Like to me that's just crazy. It's just absolutely bonkers. And like for me it's just like I also think that another reason why they're doing this and it still doesn't make sense why it's so expensive for one day is because they have no smaller artists, which
Yeah.
which I do think that that's a little bit more of like they're still new, so therefore they're not gonna be like, all right man, let's have all these artists and then a smaller artist to you know filter out the crowd and shit like that. That I do get, but at the same time I don't get it. I don't get it
Yeah,
because
and
it's $580.
but see that's the thing though. They're big artists, but at the same time they're not musicians or artists that can fill a whole stadium by themselves. So that's why they have to do it like that because they're big, but they're not big enough or like the new thing in town to be able to sell that shit by themselves.
I do agree on that. I just think it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's bananas.
That's a half a stack. Like in this economy, like this is crazy.
Exactly.
Like and the thing is like people will always spend money on entertainment. That is never gonna die down no matter how shitty the economy is.
Or how bad the entertainment is.
But in this economy, that's just me though. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Cause I am mad that I didn't get tickets. I was so ready. I had my credit card ready to go. I already
was ready to get it
texted
today.
him. I was ready to get in more day. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, entertainment will never fucking die. Like
There will
I
always be people willing to pay that much money. Turn your light off. That is bananas. So.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is my guess, and I feel like I could put money down into it. They're gonna make it like into a 3-day time.
I hope so because I would really like to go to this
Because they're
festival.
stacked.
If they keep having the lineups that they keep having, that will be amazing.
Yeah.
And just change it to like at least 2 days. Like come on, dude. Like come on. And then I will pay $580.
Plus the fucking flight.
Yeah, plus the flight, plus the stay, plus the merch, plus food.
You're looking at least 1.5K.
I was thinking 2.
At least, yeah. 2 for sure. Yeah, especially because people like to buy shit to be like, oh my god, I went to the concert. Or to the
Okay, but
festival.
you
I mean,
say,
no.
you say that as we're not wearing fucking.
No, and I do it, and I get it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like, definitely be willing to spend money on those kind of events.
Yeah.
Because every time I go to a
Just not
concert,
one
I
day,
buy
please.
a shirt.
Just not one day, because I would be mad. Because, like, honestly, I would be mad. Let's look at the lineup. So, okay, let's see. This lineup that is fucking amazing. Okay, like, I would like to see Gloria Trevi, Camila, Belinda, Jessie Joy, Amanda Miguel.
I have no idea who that is.
Bitch.
Who's that?
La que canta. Oh, I have it on the tip of my tongue. Ah! Él me mintió. Él no llegué, amaba, no era verdad. He's like all like mom type. Like
Okay.
that's mom's type music.
Okay.
I would like to see Ilegales, and I'm cool on that stage. So how many people was that? That was 5 people?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5. Then I would like to see Alejandro Fernández, Los Ángeles Azules, Los Tucanes de Tamaulipas, Paquita la del Barrio, because why not?
She's the Mexican version of who? Because
Oh.
like it's all about like women empowerment. Paquita Banana? She is.
I guess so. I would like to see Los Lobos.
I have no idea.
Okay, so that's what, like 9?
Yeah. I mean,
And
there's
then
for
I would
sure
really
there's
like
10.
to see Maná, Hombres G,
Maná is
Café
coming to
Tacuba.
Georgia, though.
La Ley, Enanitos Verdes, Bomba Estéreo, Mago de Oz, Motolove.
Are they really coming? Because, see, I was going to go to one of their concerts and they canceled the day off.
Yeah, fuck them. Okay, so how many people was that? That was like
10.
that was
at
like
least.
10, 12 people.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
That's 12 hours.
it
Like
would be
that's
the
just not gonna
equivalent
happen.
Of like something, I don't know, like I was gonna start throwing names, but that would be like 80s name. No, like it's something really amazing. Like this event is something really cool that almost
I'm just saying, do better.
I'm pretty sure every Hispanic person in America would love to see.
Yeah, it's a great festival to go to. Just do better.
It's amazing. I think that, I mean, hopefully they will change it in the future because I would like to go to one.
Either
of those.
do better or sponsor us, and then we'll be like, all right, bet. So they did do better. You will never hear lies from us that we will let you know how.
Okay, so
it
I got a
is.
question about the sponsors because I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
When you told me not to like get my little cup with the logo. What was it? Something like that. Will you sell yourself for not like your body, bitch?
Like my soul.
Yeah, your soul per se for like sponsorships and be like, hey, you gotta talk about this.
No.
No.
Oh, like you're saying sell yourself, like sell your credibility?
Yeah, or just your space. Like let's think this reaches the 1 million views. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like will you sell your space to be like, I don't know, like I don't drink Pepsi, but because they're giving me more money than Coke, I'm gonna start saying that Pepsi is the best fucking drink in the world.
No,
I
I
wouldn't do
think
that shit,
I think that if you stay true to who you really are, you are always going to get what you want.
Yeah.
Whether it's something that you didn't even think you wanted, but you're always gonna get the best when you stay true to who you are.
Okay. Because you just made the comment that, hey, sponsor us and we'll talk good about you.
No, but then I
like,
said you will never. You have something on your tooth right here.
Oh, hell no. And you say that on camera?
You don't have to show it. Wait, let me see. You have it like right here, like on your
Bitch,
big
I cannot see myself.
That's what I'm letting you see.
Where?
You have like a little dot on your big one. Yeah, there you go.
Bitch, the camera cannot pick that up.
I was just,
You
it
just
was bothering
exposed
me.
me.
It was bothering me.
exposed the
You're
fuck out of
welcome. You're welcome.
Now people are gonna zoom on the video.
Anyways, I just saw it. Anyways, no, like yes, sponsor us, but you're also gonna get an honest review. Like if, like for example, let's say that we, like Golden Dream, not even Golden Dream, but it's like a good step will be. I bet they sponsor us, but I bet y'all talking all that shit. Let me show you how good it really is, and it's good. But then y'all security is shit. I'm gonna let you know security is shit. If the crowd was disgusting, I'm gonna let y'all know that the crowd was disgusting. If there was actually production thing that needed to be better, I will let y'all know. But I'm gonna let you know if I had a good time or not.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna be truthful. It's always gonna be the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking more of if I legit like the product of whoever's sponsoring, because like for example, the what I'm drinking right now, I will say the fucking brand. I don't care. It's Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they were to be like, hey, like put our bottle in front of this, I will do it. Because I like it. But if like I don't know, like some kind of vodka will be like, hey, promote us on your podcast and we'll pay you this much, I will say no, even if it's good money.
Yeah.
I think, like once they show you the zeros, you're like, let me think.
I mean, maybe I would be like, look, today we're sponsored by vodka and we're drinking vodka today, but but it's not gonna be like, oh, now we're only sponsored by vodka.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a little like, at least to me, a little shady because sometimes you see these YouTubers being like, oh, this video is brought to you by blah blah, and they usually like promote these like cell phone games, like iPhone games.
Yeah.
And they look like shit, and they're like, I've been playing for this for months, and I never realized how fun it was. I'm like, bro, I played the fucking game, and so that kind of stuff,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's always gonna be truthful. Like if somebody, let's say like some vodka company does reach out, like, hey, can you cheers with this? All right, bet I'm gonna try your shit, see if I like it. If I like it, then I will recommend it to the audience. Cause why would I recommend some shitty stuff?
Yeah. Some people do though. That's the thing.
Okay, but I don't think that's just not me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be me either.
And another thing about it is like, okay, cool. I'm gonna promote your vodka on this one episode, but we ain't got a contract, baby. This contract says it's for this one episode. Drink this vodka, cool, and then you're going back to the Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
I think that's fair for them, for the audience and for us. Cause then it's gonna be like, oh, we feel like we have to promote this vodka, and like, bitch, no, everybody likes vodka.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're on the same page on that. I like that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that shit. So whiskey companies sponsor us, cause I like whiskey.
And tea.
And tea.
We like tea.
There's this Mighty Leaf. You got some delicious fucking tea. There's some free promotion, bro. Cause that's the one that used to sell at the restaurant.
Honestly, I don't remember.
No, that shit is delicious to buy sometimes.
I don't remember.
But yeah, Mighty Leaf is some of the best fucking tea that I've ever had in the States. So
Nice.
go get that one. That's
I know what was the best coffee I ever had.
where.
In I was gonna say Colorado, bitch, not Colorado. In El Salvador.
I feel like Colombian coffee.
Okay, I thought so too, right? But I mean, I've never been to Colombia, so I don't know. Maybe it is the best coffee, but bitch, Salvadorian coffee, it is coffee that you're like, I taste the coffee and it's absolutely delicious. And I didn't get any, so.
What the fuck?
I didn't get any like to bring back to
Oh,
the
okay. I
States.
was about to say like.
No, that's all I drank when I went to El Salvador. I went to El Salvador for like 6 days for my birthday.
Nice.
And yeah, and it's cheap too. It's so cheap, like, because we have dollars.
Yeah, for real.
And it's even cheaper than Mexico.
Yeah, that I knew.
So yeah,
South American countries are cheap.
I was living my best life.
Hell yeah. Okay, but for this last part, I wanted to talk about something that I saw over the weekend, and I didn't know about, but I think you said at the beginning to bring some mental health awareness to this thing, and I saw some news about an Instagrammer model / OnlyFans creator that committed suicide this past week.
Oh.
Yeah, and the reason why she did it was because she got accused of I think like pedophilia or something like that, because her theme was to dress herself by looking younger. So the internet was accusing her of promoting pedophilia because she looked like a kid and all this shit.
Mm.
So she ended up with like getting depressed and all that shit, and ended up like unfortunately killing herself. And it's funny because
Not you funny. Saying it's funny.
Not funny, not funny. Poor choice of words. But interesting enough, I actually knew who she was because, I mean, I followed her. I thought she was a really pretty girl. And actually, I didn't know that all that face was makeup. Like, I knew she was doing makeup and all that shit. I never paid for that.
You know she was young, though?
No. I mean, no. I knew she was, because I think she was like 27 or 30, something like that. But her whole appearance was to look young. So that's why she got accused of a pedophilia. It's called Coconut Kitty. I think her Instagram got the...
Coconut Kitty, I think.
Yeah, and she's really pretty. She obviously does OnlyFans and all that shit, but she is beautiful. No, that's not her. I think her Instagram got deleted because I couldn't find it the other day. But no, that's not it. But I mean, if you search it on you will see who I'm talking about. And I mean, she's a really pretty girl.
Internet personality.
Yeah, her. But that's her real face. Like, look up images. So see,
that's shit. Her?
This one looks more real. Like, this is her real face, and this is how she used to like promote herself as. So I mean, she looks
more like a doll instead of like a kid.
She looks more like a doll. So I mean, she was beautiful, I think.
Yeah, she was.
But people were accusing her of promoting pedophilia because she was trying to look like a younger person and all this. So okay, so that's like her.
Dead at 24. Oh, 24. So young.
Yeah. So I mean, all these things drove her to suicide.
Right.
So to me, this is like a double moral standard because
I was just thinking that. Yes.
Because on one side, you knew what you were doing, like the fact that you opened OnlyFans and you were making bank. Because I mean, she was making fucking money out of it. So it's a sad situation, the fact that she killed herself. But on the other hand, this is a decision that she took willingly. You know, right. To explore herself, her body, her sexuality to these millions of people and do this kind of content for people. So it really sucks that she did that, but at the same time, there shouldn't be a reason why you commit suicide if you were the one who chose that in the first place. Because I mean, that was her persona. That was her content. She could have choose something else, but she chose that.
Right. And I do want to emphasize a little bit more on that double standard thing. If sex sells, which sex does sell,
100%.
a little bit controversial on her wanting herself to make herself look younger.
And she didn't even look like underage girl.
I think she looked more like a doll.
She really did look more
but
like a doll.
here's the thing. Men are buying this shit.
Exactly. And
she's getting her money. She's getting her coin.
Yeah, and the same men who accused her of like promoting pedophilia and all that shit was the same people who were probably buying her shit. Because I mean, I follow her. I have never paid for fucking OnlyFans. And I will never will because it's just like not the kind of shit that I waste my money on. But I mean, if people did, I'm pretty sure it was the same people who promoted her, who told her that she was.
I feel like this is, and I don't know the whole story, but I feel like if anything, like it was moms and more of a female accuser, because I think that pedophilia is more of an issue with women because pedos are mostly men. There are women. There's everything, a little bit of everything in every gender, but pedophilia mainly seems to be on men attacking young women. So I do agree on that. Like, yeah, you chose to make yourself look younger and make
portray yourself that way.
Make this sexual content. But she was just trying to also get her coin.
Exactly.
Like, if men are over here buying this content, is she really the problem? In a way, yes. But at the same time, she should not be exploiting that because it is a real problem and it's a disgusting problem in this world. I'm going to say the world because...
Yeah, that shit happens everywhere.
How many kids get abducted and get sex trafficked? You know, I don't agree with her making herself look younger, but I do agree that she was trying to get her coin.
So you say you don't agree with her looking younger, but like, in what way? Because I mean, you saw the picture. She doesn't look like an underage girl.
I mean, we don't know her OnlyFans content, though. Like these are just pictures that are allowed on the internet.
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure you can find it. But what I'm saying is like, just by her face.
I could actually ask my friend. He has an OnlyFans that he actually pays for.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta pay for each OnlyFans, right? It's not like you got one OnlyFans and you get access to all the bitches.
Isn't there a subscription?
Yeah, but you subscribe to people, not to like the whole page. As far as I know.
I have no idea how OnlyFans works.
Because I think, because what I heard and like what I know is like, you have like an account.
Yeah.
And then you subscribe to people. So like, let's say like you and I are like content creators. So X person makes a content and he pays you $5 a month to see your content.
Right.
But he's not gonna see my content because he's not paying me.
Okay.
So he's gonna only go see yours, and if he wants to see mine, he has to pay another extra $5. But see, like,
yeah, I don't think she looks like a kid.
Like,
I think she looks like 18, 19, 20.
She looks like a fucking porn star.
Okay, but
she's beautiful.
And also, like, bruh, you can clearly see the filters on this hoe. I'm sorry, I didn't mean like this hoe, but like, you know, like, you can see the I don't want to say that. You better cut that shit out.
No, we're keeping that shit.
No, don't keep that shit. You can clearly see the filters, like. Because her natural face looks more elongated and her nose is tiny. And her Photoshop pictures look like a doll.
And this is the thing though. Like, call me stupid, but I think this is most men. I didn't know that was a fake face until this happened. Until they post the real picture. That's definitely not it though. The other ones that you were seeing. Like this one. Like, I thought for real that was her real face just with a lot of makeup. But I figured that, like, this and this doesn't look the same.
Yeah, that person and that person are definitely not the same person.
I didn't know she was this person until this happened.
But see,
so I always thought this was the real person, just with a lot of makeup.
I mean...
And this is just me as a man, you know, like, the perspective of man. Like, somebody that, like, I guess you can say buy into the fantasy and, like, just see her as like a sexual object and all this shit. Like, they don't fucking see that shit. So, I mean...
Hey, we live in a world where AI is amazing.
It really
and, like,
is.
Honestly, like, kudos to her for fucking protecting her face.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Because she wouldn't be recognizable.
Maybe this girl is definitely not the same girl. Yeah. Like,
maybe you're, like, a huge fan of her content and, like, you will memorize her tattoos and all that.
You can clearly tell that that's not a human face.
I don't know. that's me as a man. Like,
But
no,
when have you ever seen a person look like this in real
not
life?
like that. But I'm saying like maybe he put too much makeup. But like, hold on. She put too much makeup. But like, for example, this one like she looks like a natural face with a lot of makeup. So, you know, and this is not the same.
But she's not even wearing a lot of makeup. That's the thing.
But that's the thing.
It's
like,
a natural look.
Yeah, but like this look from this look is not the same. That's what I'm saying.
I think this picture looks more realistic, but
yeah, I
this
feel like that one
right here.
I feel like that's fake. I feel like that's way too over Photoshop.
Yeah, like this looks like an AI filter type thing.
See, that's the thing. I like me as a man. I think like we wouldn't recognize that shit too much. Like, look at that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, she looks like she's gorgeous. I don't think she looks like a kid though. I think she looks at the most like a teenager.
Yeah, and people were accusing her because she looked like too young to be doing those kind of sexual acts.
I mean, but here's the thing also. Teenagers nowadays look
wild.
fucking old. I'm sorry, but these 14, 15-year-olds look older than me. Yeah. And it's scary. It's so scary. And the way that they act, like...
Especially for men.
Yeah, like, because you really don't know. And it's like, yo, let me see some ID. And even that, it's like, yo, is this a fake? Hold on. Like, let me see a real ID. Like, let me see your passport, bitch. Like, at this point... Let me
scan this shit.
Bitch, might as well get a fucking scanner. And be like, okay, all right, we good. Because you're going to get an R. Kelly situation, and we don't want that.
For real.
But, I mean, there's just so many problems in this world. I swear to God. From the pictures that we just saw, I don't think she looks like a kid. I think she looks 16. At the most, at the very least, I said she looks 14. Because of the way that these 14-year-olds are looking today. That's still pedophilia. Absolutely, I'm not doubting that. But homegirl was just trying to get her coin. And
she decided to do that in the first place.
Obviously, her filter, like, I'm sorry, but I guess I would have to see her content. Because, like, I'm sorry, but men are stupid. Like, y'all really can't tell it's a whole ass filter on that shit. Like,
I couldn't. I honestly thought that was just makeup. But that's the thing, that's the difference between men and women.
I mean,
you see that kind of difference because you use makeup, you know how makeup works.
Yeah.
But guys don't. I mean, they just see a pretty face with a nice body and they're like, yeah, bitch is hot.
Yeah.
That's it. Especially if, like you said, like sex sells.
Yeah.
So you're not there to see, oh, did she do her eyeliner right? No, you're trying to see some tits.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting. I don't know if you can do it on OnlyFans that you can check people's followers. Probably not, right?
I don't think so, because the whole point
it's more
of that
of a
will
sex
be
thing.
private, though. I mean, you can see the content creator, but you cannot see the fan. You may be able to see like how many fans or how many I guess.
But not
follows.
the usernames.
Yeah, I mean maybe the usernames, but just not the people.
It would be interesting to see usernames to if it's more men or women. We can
it's
really.
It's absolutely more men. That's not even a question. How many men you think buy OnlyFans compared to women? I feel like maybe one in 100
I don't think
men.
I know. I don't think I know a single girl that pays for OnlyFans.
I know more girls that have OnlyFans than girls that pay for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I don't think that shit even exists. Like, maybe one every 100 guys. For every 100 guys, one girl might do that, might pay for that. But even so, like, you never hear about a guy making an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever heard or, like, saw anyone's bio be like, hey, follow my OnlyFans. You know, like
I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. Some men that have OnlyFans, they making bank too.
I've never seen that. That'd be interesting to see.
They make some good ass.
And is it the same porn?
It's I don't know, man. I don't.
No, but I mean, you can tell. Like, for example, you can tell that she was doing porn, like sexual content. Was the guy doing the same? Like the man that really you can tell like a shirtless guy with like his dick hanging out.
Okay, but is that porn? Is that our? Like,
if you're showing your genitals, then fuck yes, it is. It might be soft porn, but it is porn at the end.
Okay, yeah, soft porn. Well, it is. You're saying you're right. It is porn at the end. I think what I have seen from my accounts that I follow on Instagram that is more like the sexual side. Actually, I don't know. I really don't. I know that some men on OnlyFans make some good money, but I don't know what they do exactly. I don't know if they just like jerk off. I don't know if they're actually having sex with people. I don't know if it's just like a
And
muscle
even
flexing
so,
type thing.
and even so, I will imagine that those kind of, in case it's sexual content for those male OnlyFans creators, most of their followers will be gay people. More than women.
That's a little. That's a little.
Like how many girls do you think they will pay
Hold
for
on.
that?
Hold on. I'm gonna say this a lot because there is a lack of porn for women out there. There is way more porn catered to men, like the titty shot, the vagina shot, the close up of the girl going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's like we can see it and it's fine. But like, okay,
what's for me?
What's for me, the woman? It's more like I don't want you to know that about me.
Let me give you the counterpoint to that shit. You said that there's more porn for guys than there is for girls. The reason why, and I think I will speak that as a man, is because for women it's easier to have sex than for guys. So for guys it's a fantasy, and for girls it will be more like an adventure kind of thing. Because I mean, think about it. If every girl that like your job, for example, think of any girl in there. If she wanted, how many guys do you think she could fuck from work? At least 1, 2, easily. She can just go to a man and be like, "Hey, wanna hook up tonight?" I guarantee at least 2 men will say yes.
Yeah.
And I'll think the other way around. If a guy goes around the restaurant, he's like to every single guy, "Hey, wanna hook up tonight? Hey, wanna fuck tonight? Hey, wanna hook up?" Maybe one of the 20 guys that work there have a chance with one girl. Maybe.
I think no. Here's the thing. It's
okay, but like, what would be the percentage? Like I said,
I mean,
girls can get more.
Yeah, girls can get
whoever they want, pretty much.
Girls can get dick anytime they want. Period. Like,
and guys, every now and a while. That's why most men are stuck in ugly relationships, because they know that once that bad relationship ends, they will be a long period of time before they get anything else.
I also feel like we live in an era right now that good men are starting to be afraid of being labeled a creep or being a pedo or something like that. It's just like we are living in such a sensitive world that one wrong move and it's like fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like one wrong move can ruin your life by being labeled and trying to take that away from you. But I don't know. The fact that I do know that there's like a whole ass study on this, that there's more porn for men than for women, and that kind of sucks for us women. That I don't know how to talk about this with you, because I don't know how to talk about this with you because I'm usually very open. Like I can talk about sex all day every day, but.
I mean, just not going into specifics. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but like I said, women have a bigger chance of getting laid in real life than men do. So that's why porn is so big for men and not as big for women. You know what? That kind of brings up a question though. Do you think that because that seems to be the thought process, do you think that there's more? Do you think that is the reason why there are more male rapers? I feel that just biologically men have this sexual impulse. So some I mean, we're just animals at the end of the day. So some people act upon it more easily than girls. Because I mean, like I said, a guy will have a much harder time trying to find not even a partner, just someone to have sex with, even if it's casual, than a woman will. So because that happens, men have this frustration growing into them, and some people just explode. And I mean, like I said, women can just go out on a bar like a Monday or a Friday night, and if they're like, you know what, I want to get dick down tonight, it will happen. Yeah. They will find someone 100%. Yeah. If they're going with that mentality, they will happen. I think so too. And a guy can be like, I'm going to wear my expensive chain, I'm going to wear my nice shoes, I'm going to use some nice cologne, that expensive ass watch, I want to rent a car, and he might not get any fucking pussy. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like that's like a power structure in that level. I do think that. I do. So that's why there's some male frustration in that area. I can get dick anytime I want. I can get dick anytime I want. Yeah, like for sure. I do agree on that. Like the girls can pick up somebody like that. But anyways, back to this homegirl, Miss Coconut Kitty. A shame. It is a shame, though.
A shame that she got bullied into suicide. I don't know if that's everything. Of course, we don't know everything that can lead to suicide, but it's very sad to hear that a life was taken
That she took her own life.
Voluntarily, yeah.
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 And
like,
I mean, that's another topic, and I feel like we should do a little research into that one about cyberbullying, because someone that I'm a little old school, I guess, in that sense. Because, I mean, to me, it was like, if you were getting bullied on your Facebook, your Instagram, and shit, like, it's easy as, to me, you know? I know it's not that simple of a topic, but to me, as someone who grew up before all this was mainstream, it would be just like, shut that shit down.
Yeah, turn your computer off.
But for some reason, people can't do that. So they'd rather take all the hate, and then that hate goes to your head. And it eventually happens what happened to this girl.
I think that if you are in that label of fame or known or followers, like, you're never going to escape that. Because how many followers did you have? Millions?
Probably like
or thousands?
No, probably like...
Millions?
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
so
but
yeah,
I mean,
millions. So there's already going to be fan accounts. There's going to be fake accounts. Like, and even if she were to shut down her computer, her phone, everything, and try to start over, it's always going to be there one, and there's always going to somebody to be there to milk it, because of 1 or 2 million people, there's going to be fan accounts and spam accounts.
Okay, but what do you mean by milk it? Because, I mean, let's say you're this person, you're somebody who already made money out of it, so you can just be like, you know what, I'm getting a lot of shit for this, so I'm just going to disappear for a whole month. If they want to, like, make money out of my old pictures and all that shit, fucking go for it. You know, like, I got enough money to go over radar for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So just disappear, like, clear your mind, be like, okay, this shit is getting too toxic. Because eventually, like, something new will happen the next day, and then people will forget about you. Right. That's the beauty of the internet. That's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So, I mean, today you might be in the hot spot, right, but tomorrow somebody else is going to do something stupid. So all that hate is going to turn to someone else. And that's when you as a person should decide, you know what, like, I'm getting all this shit, let me just, like, disappear for a moment. Like I said, like, if you're losing 100, like, in those levels, you know, because I'm pretty sure, like, she was making millions at that point.
Yeah.
If by me going off the radar it means that I'm gonna lose like 200K, fucking beat it. I got enough money to survive without those 200K. You know, so like that should give you some peace of mind, the fact that you have financial stability.
Yeah.
So I feel like that should be a solution, instead of just going to the extreme of killing yourself, or like, even if you decide to, you know what, like, this line of work is not for me anymore, like, I don't like to expose myself in that way, like, I feel ashamed of that shit now, like, just delete that shit. Eventually, I mean, the internet will never forget, but it'll never fully be there either, you know? Because, I mean, there have been so many
getting labeled
examples.
for something sexual, I think that is going to be with you for life. I think that being labeled for some sort of sexual misconduct is going to just always be brought up. But at the same time, like, we hear of all these celebrities, actors, singers that do crazy shit, and they're still popping today. So
yeah, but I mean, I feel like the
double standard, man.
Yeah, the difference with that is that happens to them one time. It's not the way they make a living.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they may be like football players or basketball players, and they may get involved with an orgy, but that's like one time thing. But because this girl is like their everyday job, and that may be like a more harder stigma to shake off. But at the same time, if you decide to go into that line of work, I mean, you should be conscious about what you're getting into. You know, the fact that you're showing your face, your body, your privacy, to all these people is like, you know what, like, I'm gonna expose myself, but I know that there's a small chance that my family, my friends, someone that knows me might watch the content. So you gotta be conscious about this kind of shit. And if you decide to do it, then I mean, go ahead though.
But if she was, here's my question then, since you're saying that, if she went to the trouble of putting an AI filter and like literally changing her face entirely, that you if you were to see her on the street,
I would
only from knowing her from her OnlyFans content, you would never know that's that girl, because that is a whole different face, right?
Yeah.
So if she went to the trouble of changing her face for her OnlyFans content, why make her real face available to the public? Because then if she didn't make her real face available to the public on her real Instagram and things like that, then she really could have escaped. Like, or I bet, like, I'm gonna shut this account off, or not, or let's say she didn't even want to shut the account off, but if she's getting mad hate, and she could have been like, all right, bet I'm done, I'm done logging into this account, but I still want to make money. She could have done that.
But you're saying that she would get recognized out on the street?
She wouldn't have. If she never showed her real face and shared her real face on whatever she shared it on, she would have been fine.
Okay, but
because then you would never recognize her in real life, and then she could have done what you just said to log off and never see that shit ever again, and she would have continued her life normally.
see, I don't know about that. Okay, so if I don't know if somebody find her Instagram or like her real face or she did it willingly, but in any case, I feel like also pornography is nothing to be proud of. So when people consume that kind of product and they see a person who does that like in real life, they're not gonna be like, oh my god, I saw you last scene, you're such a like a queen or shit like that, can I take a picture with you? You know what I'm saying?
Why would you not be proud of porn if you're comfortable with your sexuality?
You wouldn't be proud to admit that you consume porn. Like, how many people you know that they're like, oh yeah, I was watching porn like last night. I was
Everybody.
Like, really? I have never met like
Everybody. Absolutely.
I don't think
we talk about that shit all the time. We talk about who our favorite porn stars are.
I mean, yeah, you talk like about who your favorite porn stars are, but like with the people you know. But if you were to see like I don't know, tell me a porn star.
Abla Danger.
Okay, if you were to see her at a gas station, she was just like normally charging gas, and you were just like buying fucking like a snack. You were like, oh my god, is that her? You're not gonna go to her and be like, girl, I saw your scene last night.
Fuck yeah, I would go up to her.
So
absolutely.
Really?
Why would I not?
I feel like not enough people is comfortable with that. To go and to admit to like a bunch of strangers around you that you watch porn.
You have to be living under a rock. Come on, like. We're not stupid. Like,
no,
we know that Pornhub is fucking used by millions and millions
and
millions
I'm not
of
saying
users.
It's not. I'm just saying that people will not say it proudly.
I'm sorry, but that's small town mentality. You have to be in the city. Like you have no, because you do, because this is like yeah, like if we're talking about porn, let's say that I'm in a class or like not high school, like a college class or whatever. And the people next to me are talking about porn, and I see they're having a good conversation, and I hear a name that I'm into. I'm like, yo, you know her too? Like, yeah. I think that, bitch, we live in a world where there's hella people making OnlyFans, and they're like, hey, follow my OnlyFans. We live in a very open world.
We live in an open world, but I don't think like, I feel like sexuality and consume porn are two different topics that don't go kind of like hand in hand.
Why would it not? We're talking about porn right now.
Yeah. I mean, but we're not saying like. At least I haven't met anyone from like, even when we used to work in Atlanta with all the sets and like all these people that were more open minded, I guess, because they live in a big. Even when I was living in Mexico, though, like I was living with these people that work in movies and television, all that shit. We never once had a conversation about like, hey, what kind of porn were you watching last night? You know, like
because it's not like a regular conversation. Like,
exactly.
Hey, what did you have for dinner last night? It's more like, if somebody's talking about sex or the topic of sex is being brought up.
But sex I
don't think this is going to be YouTube friendly. I think we're not gonna be able to post this.
I think so. Why not?
We're talking about suicide. We're talking about killing. And we're talking about sex.
So, I mean, just not advertise as like.
There's guidelines to it. They're not gonna let us say all.
I mean, there's
words.
A bunch of content about this shit too, though. I mean, they just put a label on it. It's like whenever they talk about COVID, they put a label on it, but like, find your information first. I mean, we'll post it and then we'll see what happens.
I mean, look, I think that's a very sad statement that you just made. People don't want to talk about porn. Why?
How is that a sad statement?
Because why would you not want to talk about porn?
Because there's a stigma to it.
What is the stigma to it?
That there is something dirty that shouldn't be as allowed to, though.
Why? Who said that?
Society, though.
Not this society. Gen Z is as open as ever. Like, nah, I think that Gen Z, and that's why I do fuck with Gen Z like that, because they're like, all right, yeah, I make porn, so what? You're probably going to watch it. You're probably going to consume it, and I'm proud of it. So I think if you own who you are and you are so comfortable with your sexuality, and you're like, yeah, I make porn or I make sex content, like, here's my link, come support.
Okay, so
it's like supporting a small business.
Okay, so by that logic though, why did this girl commit suicide? Because she was Generation C.
Because homegirl was getting bullied. Because homegirl was tired of the bullying. And that's fine too. If what she was promoting was pedophilia.
Which she wasn't.
See, that's... Porn and pedophilia are two fucking different things.
See, and that's the thing, though. They are, but at the same time, like, how much of that porn is like, whatever fucking stepsister or stepdaughter. Like, you know,
because people are sick.
Exactly, though. And you don't want to admit that
sick.
Shit. So if you're like let's say, for example, you're someone that is 35 and has a family and watches porn, and you watch the kind of content that is like, oh, I'm fucking my stepdaughter. How the fuck? See, you just made a face.
Yeah, because
how would you
think
feel
there's a line. I think that
okay,
people,
so that's the question.
Okay,
where do you draw the line?
Because people are allowed to have their private thoughts. A lot of people have very
freaky shit
on their mind, and I think every single individual has some sort of freaky sick shit, and I think people are allowed to have their private thoughts. And if porn,
and there's a time and place for everyone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that should be by yourself.
Yeah. Bitch. So when
it's freaky shit like that you know is controversial, like, yeah, that you should probably keep that to yourself.
But in the first place, porn is controversial because, like, imagine there's a
not all porn though.
What kind of porn is not?
Just like regular porn. Like
what's regular porn? Like, because that's regular porn. There are actors pretend to be a stepdaughter and a stepfather.
But like I said, that's your own private thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so that's my question. What's regular porn?
Just regular porn, well, just like
give an example.
I don't know, somebody. I don't know, like just regular ass porn. Just
that's regular porn. It's sex at the end of the video.
Non-categorized, a non-family related porn.
Okay, but that's the thing though. Like you're saying, it's not related porn like that, but at the same time, it is because that's the kind. Like if you see the statistic of like Pornhub, for example. That's some of the search that they get the most views.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, there's a very shallow area, and
but
that's why
privateness.
It's privateness, and that's why it's okay to. I mean, I'm open to talk about it with my friends.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm gonna to a restaurant with like a group of 10 people and be like, hey, so what's your favorite porn star?
Okay, yeah,
I wouldn't do it in public.
That.
I will do, but that's what the way you're making it sound. I get it that you're talking with your friends. In like a more private area when you know that every single person that is there agrees with your kind of views and mentality and all that shit. But at the same time, it wouldn't be something that you'd be proud to tell out in public to just anybody. You know, like he's not going to go like...
Okay, yeah, that... I feel like it's not fair like what you're saying though, because yes, I do agree that like some intimate settings are more appropriate to talk about these type of stuff. And it's like, if it's my bestie, I'll be like...
Fuck yeah.
What kind of weird shit do you like? Let me get to know you for real.
And I've done that too.
And you're gonna be like, yeah, you a sick fuck, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Unless they were to say like some crazy shit like animal sex, I'd be like, alright, you need some fucking help. But I think I don't know. Me personally, I'm very open with sexuality and things like that, and I'm willing to have if you want to talk about porn at a restaurant, as long as there are no kids around, like we good, like we can have that conversation. If anybody is uncomfortable, mind your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like homegirl that was doing pedophilia and things like that,
I feel like that's a controversy.
Do we want kids to be, raped? No.
And that's going back to the whole controversy. I don't think it was really like she promoting pedophilia. It's just that some people got butthurt because she was looking young and they were like, oh, she's promoting this. When in reality, I mean, you saw the picture. She was not. Like, she looked like a fucking doll.
I thought she was going to look like a kid.
Yeah.
Like a 10-year-old type shit.
There's sponsors that look more like a kid than this girl did.
Yeah.
Because they just got these small body frames. And that, to me, that's really pedophilia. Because I'm like, I look at some of these girls, I'm like, I mean, you might be 19, 18, but like, you look fucking 15. Like, there's some kind of fucked up shit going on. Like, to the point where I kind of feel comfortable watching the content. So, in this case, I feel like just the hate got to her.
I don't know. I don't think I think that unfortunately I don't know enough about this girl to be like, yeah, this is why she ended her life.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows, and I mean, I'm pretty sure the family's we're gonna respect the family's privacy. So whatever they want to share about her, it's fine. But this is just from like an outside perspective of people who've seen this. Because I mean, at the end of the day, sexual workers have a high suicide rate, whether it's for drugs or suicide. That is true. So, I mean, you expose yourself to that kind of shit as well. So that's just my thought, though.
It's just a lot of controversial shit we talked about.
I mean, but
it's real shit.
It's
but
real
like,
shit.
It is real shit. But like I said earlier, we live in a very sensitive world. But see, that's kind of fucked up because we live in a sensitive world, but we also live in a very open world.
We live in an open digital world.
I guess.
Because, I mean, in real life, people get butthurt all the time.
People get butthurt. I don't... See, that's just not my experience. That has to be my experience in life. Like, I don't know.
Me neither, honestly, me neither. But I'm saying it just from, like, what I've seen. Because, I mean, honestly, I've never had that trouble of, like, running into that kind of shit in real life.
Yeah.
Everything that I've seen is just, like, people posting videos online and doing this shit and complaining about everything.
Yeah.
But I guess Georgia is not a state with, like, controversies like that, like California or
Georgia is a very conservative state.
It is a conservative state. But at the same time, it's kind of like a racist state. So, I mean, I guess we will see some racist shit going on every day. And I mean, honestly, in my experience, I've seen racism.
I've seen racist shit
but
here, yeah.
But not as crazy as some people portray it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because we're in the South, and the South has a reputation. But at the same time, if you look at Atlanta is black.
Yeah.
Period.
Atlanta is black.
Period.
And I mean, just like a little side thingy, I remember one time when we were living in New York, they were like, hey, where are you from? I don't know if you were with me that time, because I don't remember who I was talking to, but somebody asked me, he was like, hey, where are you coming from? Because nobody's from New York. And I was like, oh, we're coming from Georgia. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, why?
I remember that.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they were like, oh, because everybody's fucking racist. I was like, oh,
I remember that.
That's not my experience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's definitely a stigma to this town, just like there's a big stigma to places like California.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. It's like it's a weird balance.
This podcast stresses me out, but like in a good way.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good. Like, I like...
It's real conversation,
it's
but
real
it's just like... I don't know.
I just don't want to sugarcoat shit. You know, if shit is real, like, let's fucking say it as it is.
Yeah.
Because the most real people will get real reactions.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's just, like I said, it's a very sensitive world out there. I just want to be canceled. Like, that's my fear. Like, for real.
Get killed?
Canceled.
Oh, canceled. I mean, I feel like I'll give you Joe Rogan's example. Like, he got taken out of context because he said the N-word. And they were repeating that video over and over again. He was like, oh, he's racist, he's this, that. But once people saw all the whole video and what was the reason why he said it and what came after it, I guess they realized that, hey, you say this word but to explain this, and before that, this was following. So, I mean, I feel like people are also smart enough to realize when there's bullshit and when there's people, like, talking out of their ass.
You know what's playing in my head right now? I feel like one day we're going to be like, welcome to Cheers episode, whatever. We got canceled. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh.
But what does it constitute getting canceled? Getting hate?
Getting mad hate. Like, I mean...
We'll just, like, go under the radar for a little bit. Let the heat calm down.
I just hope, like, that is not a thing. Because, like...
If Logan Paul didn't and he recorded a dead person committing suicide, I'm pretty sure we can, like...
I know, it's just... I just don't want to go through that. I
don't want to go through that, but if that were the case... I mean, I'll stand behind everything that I said. You know, like, what I said is what I really feel like and what I really mean. And maybe my opinion will change in the next week, in the month, in the next year. And I mean, it's okay to change your opinion. I feel like that's part of growing up.
Yeah.
And I might regret saying all this shit in a few years. But like right now, this is my mentality.
Right.
And I mean, eventually I might change it. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with being wrong because that's how you learn. So I don't feel like that should be a problem as long as you keep it real to yourself. Don't be superstitious.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Just bring positive vibes. The fuck?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely positive vibes. It's just... You're right. Positive vibes.
No. We're just being real.
Pluck the negativity.
People have done worse shit. I just mentioned Logan Paul. He did something way more fucked up and he's still making millions.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to become a billionaire.
Yeah.
Right now with the UFC sponsorship that he did.
The brother is the one that's actually kind of good, right?
The
brother, the little brother?
What about him?
That's the one that's actually kind of good?
Kind of good at what? He's a douchebag.
Fighting.
Oh, I mean, he's alright. He has some skill, but he thinks he's better than he actually is. But I mean, regardless, they're making bank. And they're very, very controversial. So, I mean, I feel like if they can survive the shit that they've done, we can survive a little, like talking about suicide and pornography. Because I feel like we're being respectful. We're keeping it real, but we're being respectful about it.
I hope so. Like I said, just send me the edited version before you post it.
It's gonna go online anyway.
No, I gotta approve this shit too. I think that's only fair.
It's only fair. Okay, but yeah.
Okay.
It was a good episode though. We
It was good conversation.
we share some
My shit
thoughts.
empty.
Me too though. I mean, it was a long ass podcast.
Yeah.
So for a second one.
I mean, it was
I don't think anybody's gonna watch all the way through.
an hour. I mean, shit. It's not gonna be like a whole hour and 30, right?
No, it will be like 120 maybe. We'll see.
120, goddamn.
Yeah, for real. But it was a good podcast. I feel like we keep it real and we just really talk what most people we're afraid to, and that's what we want to do. We want to be different in a positive way. You know.
Yeah.
We want to
talk
keep
about
it real.
real shit, but
we want to keep it real, and we want to
respectfully.
give a new perspective because at least I haven't seen this kind of content. You know, like somebody that grew up in both societies, I guess, cultures, and be able to fully understand each culture and give to the other one.
I just think you haven't listened to enough podcasts. There are
Maybe I haven't,
there are a lot of Latino
Send them my
podcasts
way.
about this. I got you.
Because I mean, I've seen a few, but they feel like those Texas podcasts that is like more American, and they throw like a couple Spanish words in there, and they don't really talk about like.
They're speaking more Spanish than us, though. I'll tell you that much.
Send them my way. I'm
I will.
curious because I mean I haven't seen it, and I mean I like podcasts, but I also don't like boring topics about like what was Shakira's song or like just like I mean sometimes that's
Don't
cool.
shit on Shakira.
No, that she
Because Shakira is that bitch.
for real.
Suna loba.
Because I mean, but like what I'm saying is like I don't want to like talk about just like regular mainstream thing like what was Kim Kardashian wearing this weekend.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
like
give a fuck about that.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like most podcasts talk about that, so I just want to keep like topics about what's going on in real life and giving like an honest opinion. Like for example, the kidnapping that happened in Mexico. Like I feel like there's a perspective that at least I haven't heard anywhere else.
Yeah.
So some shit like that,
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, let's wrap it up though.
Thank you so much for watching, listening. We will see you on the next podcast. Cheers.
Bye everybody. Wapala.